Hey there, doctors. Welcome to the Hello Mentors NEET PG Simplified series. Today, in this series or in this series of videos, we're going to be discussing how the Karnataka state counselling for PG is going to look. Why are we discussing this? Because the counselling is around the corner, and any moment now, the counselling is yet and about to begin as well. So let us begin with discussing and understanding how the Karnataka state counselling lines up. Well, as we're already aware of the same thing, is the KEA, the Karnataka Examinations Authority, is the centralized board that conducts the counselling in the Karnataka state that is going to be there now. In the state of Karnataka, we see a population of over 7 crores, 36 districts, 64 medical colleges that you're going to be seeing if you're going to be considering the AFMS as well. There are then a total of 66 colleges in the state of Karnataka, offering a total of 6,241 seats that we are going to see. And how these 6,241 seats plus the 66 medical colleges that we've spoken about, how is that getting divided? What all seats are you going to be eligible for if you are not from the state of Karnataka? If you did not do your MBBS from Karnataka, can you understand how the Karnataka state counselling works, and are you going to be eligible to participate in the Karnataka state? That is what we're going to be discussing. So without much further ado, let us begin about Namma Karnataka. Now, what are we going to be covering in this state counselling setup? We're going to be understanding the KEA, the overview, a little bit of KEA. Where is the KEA located? Why? Because it is a very important information, because you will have to keep traveling to the KEA office time and again for document verification and other such matters as well. Followed by which, what are the different types of seats that you're going to see, who is eligible for what all those types of seats that we will understand. How do we determine the eligibility? We will understand the clauses, because there are multiple different clauses in Karnataka, meaning even if you didn't do MBBS from Karnataka, even if you have not a resident of Karnataka, on the basis of that you can still claim for domicile. What are those different clauses that we come under for the domicile criteria? What are the documentation that you're going to be requiring? We will understand that. Followed by which we will dive deeper into the counselling procedure, and while we are understanding the counselling procedure, we'll help you understand what do you do with the allotted seat. After you've been allotted a seat, what is the next process that is to follow? What are the different bonds and penalties that you have? Because for government medical colleges, there's a different bond. For the private medical colleges, there's a different bond. And two different colleges, or rather 3 different colleges, has 3 different types of bonds that you're going to be encountering. We will be discussing that. Along with that, what is the fees that you're going to be paying, and what is the stipend that you might receive from the state of Karnataka, and what are the crucial points to remember while you are participating in the Karnataka state counselling setup. Why is this going to be very important? This video for you is a very important watch, because Karnataka or the KA counselling process tends to become very complicated. Now, why am I saying that it tends to become very complicated? Well, until 2024, we're going to be discussing how it was in 2024. Until 2024, the entire process was laid out beforehand. But what are we expecting for 2025? What have we seen in the NEET UG setup is Karnataka has not provided the round-wise rules previously itself, but as each round is coming, the rules and regulations are displayed there. So how does it create an impact of which different colleges you're looking at, which different states you're looking at, and how will it shape up the cutoff or in the state of Karnataka? That is something why this video, understanding how it was last year, becomes very crucial for you to understand how the setup is going to be looking for this year as well. So we're going to have a lot of references to how it was in the UG setup to the PG setup. That will also be predicting what all changes that might happen for this year's counselling. So like we understood, now let us look at the KEA's overview. We know that the KEA office, or the Karnataka Examinations Authority, established in the year 1996, located in number 18 Sampige Road, Namma Malleshwaramalli. That is where the KEA office is going to be. Now, why do you need to remember this location? Like I told you, Karnataka has an offline document verification process, and Karnataka also says come and deposit your documents before the start of round 2. We'll dive deeper into that as we go along this video as well. But Karnataka Examination Authority expects you to deposit your documents before the start of round 2, so you should visit offline. So knowing the location is going to become very crucial for you. Followed by which, this is the website www.cetonline.karnataka.gov.in/KEA. That is where all the updates, all the admission related queries and updates and grievances, everything is available on the one portal, that is your KEA portal, that is going to be there. So now let us dive into how the Karnataka status colleges overviews are going to look. Now, Karnataka, like we've established already earlier, 64 medical colleges, when I'm including the 2 AFMS, 66 medical colleges that you're going to be seeing in the state of Karnataka, which are offering a total of 6,241 seats that are going to be there. And this seat division, or the total number of seats of 6,241, also includes the deemed university seats as well. Now, All of these 6,241 seats gets divided into two umbrellas. One is going to be your MCC counselling, which is your all India level counselling that is going to be there. Well, if you still haven't watched our MCC's video as yet, you can click on the I button and you will be able to watch our MCC of the NEET Simplified series that is going to be there. Then you can come back and watch the Karnataka state, or finish the Karnataka state and then watch our MCC series, so that you'll get a better understanding, because you will be participating in both of these counselling, and then the team of Hello Mentor, will suggest you to participate in both of the same as well. Now, they get divided into two setups, that is your MCC and you have your Karnataka state quota counselling. Under the MCC, which is nothing but your all India level counselling that you're going to be looking at, we're looking at a total of 2,666 seats under the MCC's counselling, which gets divided into three different types. You have your AFMS, your Armed Forces Medical Services, that are going to be there. A total of 186 seats offered under that, followed by which 50% of the All India quota. Now, what do we mean by the All India quota when we are going to be looking at it? See, Karnataka houses a certain amount of government medical colleges where 50% of the seats go under the MCC, where candidates can participate without a particular domicile. To know more about this, like I told you, you can watch the MCC video series of the same. You will be able to get a better understanding. Followed by which Karnataka houses a total of 11 deemed universities, offering a total of 1,618 seats that are going to be there under the MCC setup. When we add these three, you are looking at 2,666 seats of the Karnataka seats under the MCC setup. Similarly, when we quickly jump to the KA state counselling setup, you see a good number, one of the highest in the country, a total of 3,575 seats that are going to be there. Once again, gets divided into three different types of colleges. 50% we saw on the All India quota, 50% of the government medical colleges is under the state quota, with a total of 713 seats only for the Karnataka state quota domiciled candidates, followed by which 100% of the private seats in private colleges, offering a whopping 2,831 seats. That is purely only within the state counselling of Karnataka, and they play no role in the MCC counselling setup. Followed by which Karnataka as of today is the only state where even the deemed universities offer government seats as well. So you will see a total of 31 seats as of last year. Will that seat count increase for this year? Yes, there is a very big chance that it is going to increase this year as well. But remember, 5 different deemed universities offering government seats only for Karnataka domicile candidates. Who is going to be eligible for these seats? Someone from outside the state of Karnataka. Are they eligible? We will understand that as we go along this video as well. Now, when we're looking at the DNB setup, a total of 666 seats are offered by 113 DNB hospitals. You have your Rangadore Hospital, you have multiple different district hospitals, or you have the KC General Hospital in Bangalore, Shifa Hospital in Bangalore, which is a private hospital. Multiple different hospitals are offering a total of 666 seats for the DNB seats that are going to be there through the MCC's counselling. Remember, DNB seats only comes as a part of the MCC counselling. Until and unless an in-service candidate is there, they can take DNB seats through the state quota counselling. Now, who is considered as let us say, an in-service candidate? That is something that we will understand. What are the different types of service that is going to be required, that is going to be there as we go along with this video. Now, what are the different types of colleges that you will see in Karnataka? So in Karnataka, you will see the government medical colleges, a total of 24 government medical colleges within the state of Karnataka that we are going to be looking at, followed by which, when I'm looking at the private college setup, in total we have 29 private medical colleges, which further gets divided into two different types. You have your private medical colleges, a total of 22 private medical colleges that we are going to be seeing in the Karnataka state counselling. And Karnataka has a very interesting concept called as the private universities, or also very commonly called as the state universities. Now, what are these state universities? Well, state universities are private medical colleges, but which have been given the autonomous status. Now, deemed universities are also the same, but they've been given the autonomous status where they get to decide their own fee structure, they get to decide their own timelines of the curriculum of when the exam is going to be, who's going to be setting the question paper, the corrections, everything is going to be done by the college. But deemed universities is eligible from an autonomy from an all India level, whereas the private universities or the state universities is limited to the jurisdiction of the state level. However, they are still universities on their own. And this is how it is going to be. So we have a total of 7 private universities or 7 state universities that we will be seeing in the Karnataka state. Which are those 7 state universities, and can we expect more in the following years to come? Absolutely, that is also something that we will discuss. Followed by which Karnataka houses a total of 11 deemed universities, I told you earlier, out of which 5 deemed universities offer 31 government seats for the Karnataka domicile candidates. So in the state counselling of Karnataka, out of the 64 medical colleges, or rather the 66 medical colleges, 58 of them will be participating in the Karnataka state counselling setup that you're going to be looking at. And under the MCC, you're going to be looking at the 24 government medical colleges plus 2 AFMS, making it 26. Followed by which all the 11 deemed universities, making it a total of 37 medical colleges from Karnataka that will be participating in the MCC's counselling setup, or your medical counselling committee setup that is going to be there. Now, let us dive right into the colleges. We were talking about the seat types and how are the reservations broken down. 24 government medical colleges, like I've already established at the start, 50% of that goes to the All India quota, remaining 50% comes under the state quota counselling. Now, these 50% of the seats that are going to be there is not just for one category. Karnataka houses a massive number of registrations, or rather reservations that are going to be there, which goes beyond the number of 70. So 70 plus reservations that you're going to be seeing within the Karnataka state counselling setup. Now, for the government medical colleges, how does the reservation go up? If you're a general merit candidate or you are unreserved candidate, 44% of the seats are reserved under the general merit quota that you're going to be looking at. Quickly, we'll jump to SC and ST. We'll come back to the OBC setup. SC or a scheduled caste, you have 17% of the seats that are going to be reserved for SC, and ST, you have 7% of the seats reserved under the ST quota. Now, these numbers were little lesser as compared to 2 years ago from today, where general merit or unreserved candidates had 50% of the seats that were reserved for them, whereas SC had a total of 15% and ST had a total of just 3%. But 6% was removed from the general quota or the general merit quota, and then it was shifted. 2% was added to SC, making it from 15 to 17%, and ST moved from 3% to 7%, where 4% was added as a reservation. OBC, since then to now, it still remains at a total of 32%. And in Karnataka, the other backward classes divided into 5 different categories. You have your category 1, where 4% of the seats are going to be there. Category 2A, which is going to be 15%. You have 2B, 4%, 3A, 4%. And you have your category 3B, which is sitting at 5% at this point in time. This is where your total 32% of the reservations that you are going to be seeing on your screens right now, that is where the other backward classes of the OBC, where the reservations are broken down. Now, apart from these reservations, Karnataka houses also something called as the horizontal reservations that are going to be there. What do I mean by the horizontal reservations? 5% horizontal reservation for a physically handicapped candidate. First of all, what do I mean by horizontal reservation? If you are, let us say, a SC candidate and you are a physically disabled candidate, then what happens? You have something called as the SC PWD that gets attached to you, where if 17% of the seats is going to be for SC, 5% of that 17% seats reserved is going to be for SC candidates who are under the physically handicapped quota that they come under. So this is what we are going to be looking at, your horizontal reservation. Similarly, we have something called as the Hyderabad Karnataka quota, where 8% seats are reserved horizontally only for candidates who are natives of the 6 different districts of the Kalyana Karnataka or the Hyderabad Karnataka districts. You have districts like, you have your district like Yadgiri is there, you have followed by which you have Gulbarga, you have Raichur, you have Koppala, you have Vijayanagar, Bellary, all of these that are going to be there, which are going to be coming under your Hyderabad Karnataka, or now rephrased to as the Kalyana Karnataka region that is going to be there. This is where 8% is going to be there, but this, remember this, 8% is for colleges where the colleges are not located in that particular district. For example, if the college is located in Bangalore, then 8% horizontal reservation is going to be there. But if the college is located in one of these 6 districts that I spoke to you about earlier, meaning if the college is located in Gulbarga, almost 70% of the seats is going to be reserved for HK or the Hyderabad Karnataka candidates. Meaning you will see quotas such as GMH, that means General Merit Hyderabad Karnataka quota, or 1GH, Category 1 Hyderabad Karnataka quota, or rather 1H it is what we call. Or you see 2AH, candidate who's a 2A category plus Hyderabad Karnataka, that is going to be there. These are the different types of horizontal attachments that you're going to be seeing. 70% within those districts, 8% across the rest of Karnataka is what you're going to be seeing for the seat reservation that is going to be there. Now, as we talk about the government medical colleges, now quickly we'll move on to the private medical colleges of Karnataka. Now, we saw it earlier that Karnataka houses a total of 29 private medical colleges that are there, and there are 3 different types of private medical colleges. Well, I told you there were 2 different types earlier, private medical colleges and private universities. Where is the third type? Well, those private medical colleges also I will divide it into 2 different types. You have your minority colleges, then you have your non-minority colleges that are going to be there, followed by which 7 state universities or the private universities, making it a total of 29 private medical college set up in Karnataka. Now, what are minority colleges? Minority colleges where certain seats are reserved for people belonging to a particular minority, be it based on the mother tongue or based on the religion. What are those minorities? How can you claim it? What is the requirement? We will understand as we go on with it. Non-minority colleges where there are no seats reserved for the minorities, followed by which then you have the state universities, like I told you, autonomous institutes within the respective state that you're going to see. Now, there are 4 types of seats. All of these 29 medical colleges offer 4 different types of seats. You have your private college government seat that is there. You have your private college private seat that you're going to be looking at, private college NRI quota seats, and then you have your private college management quota seats that you're going to be seeing. Now, how much seats are going for each of these types? Well, for 3 different types of colleges, there are 3 different types, or there are 3 different types of reservation categories or the seat distribution that you're going to see. And there are also changes in the fee structures as well. Now, what are those changes in the fee structures? First, let us understand what is the lineup of the minority colleges that is going to be there. So, minority colleges, I told you there are 11 minority colleges, but for now, I've pointed out, you can see evidently we have written 10 minority colleges, because out of the 11 minority colleges, 10 colleges offer 4 types of seats. There is one very special college that is going to be there, which we will cover. It is a very premium college here in Bengaluru. If you've already guessed what college I'm talking about, you can put it in the comment section on what is the college that I'm referring to. Or if you have not guessed it, wait for a few more minutes and we will be discussing that college at length as well. Coming to the minority colleges, 20% of the seats are going to be reserved under the government quota seats, whereas 55% is going to be the private seats, 15% is your NRI quota seats, followed by which 10% of the seats that is going to be your management quota seats. Now, how does the fee structure line up for the same? For the government quota, it starts from 1,10,000 and goes up to 7.8 lakh rupees per annum, ranging from your non-clinical branches to your clinical branches. Your non-clinical starts from 1,10,000 rupees and goes up to 7,80,000 rupees per annum, followed by which when we're looking at the private seat, starts at 1.1 lakh rupees once again, but goes up to almost 13.9 lakhs, meaning almost 14 lakh rupees per annum that you are going to be seeing, followed by which both the NRI and the management quota for the non-clinical, it starts from 1 lakh rupees and goes as large as 1.4 crore rupees, and I'm referring to the fees of per annum and not for the entire 3-year course. Now, there's one information that we've put out here is the private seats, where 55% of the seats is reserved in the minority colleges, is divided it further into 3 different types once again. What are those 3 different types? 9.5% is going to be for GMP, General Merit Private Seats, meaning these 9.5% seats are only for candidates who claim for domicile of Karnataka only. Only for those candidates you have the 9.5% seats that are going to be there, followed by which 9.5% seats are open seats, meaning Karnataka is an open state. Even if you've never studied in Karnataka or lived in Karnataka, you can still claim for seats in the state of Karnataka under the private quota seats, where 9.5% of those seats in a minority college is reserved only for open candidates that are going to be there, followed by which 36% of the seats, a massive share of the private seats, is going to be for the minority candidates. Now, you have different linguistic minority colleges and you have different religious minority colleges, which we'll understand what are those 10 different colleges and which is the 11th college also we will understand. While this is how the seat division lined up for your Karnataka's minority colleges, how does the non-minority colleges line up? Again, we're looking at a total of 11 non-minority colleges. Once again, 4 different types of seats. Fee structure for the minority or the non-minority remains the same like we spoke about in the previous slide that was there. But there's a difference in the seat distribution. 33% of the seats that you're going to be seeing are going to be the government seats that are going to be there, followed by which 15% and 10% remains a standard for your NRI and the management quota seats. 42% of the seats that are going to be there are under the private quota seat setup that is going to be there, which is divided into 2 types. Remember, these are non-minority colleges, so no minority seats are going to be reserved here. So the 42% seats that are going to be reserved here, 21% is for general merit private candidates, meaning only for domiciles of Karnataka, and 21% is for open plus the domicile candidates of Karnataka, meaning anyone from anywhere in the country, you will be eligible to participate for the same. Fees remains the same thing, goes up to 7.8 lakh rupees for the clinical branches for the government seats, goes up to 14 lakh rupees almost for the private seats, goes up to almost 1.4 crores when we're looking at the NRI and the management quota seats. Now, out of the 29 private medical colleges of Karnataka, we've understood how the seat distribution or the seat division is going to be for 21 different colleges. Now, let us switch to the state universities. Now, when we're looking at the state universities, a total of 7 state universities that are going to be there in the state of Karnataka. We will understand which are those state universities as we go along. Once again, here is where there's a big difference that you're going to be seeing in terms of fees. Now, 40% of the seats are going to be government seats, whereas for minority it was 20%, whereas non-minority it was 33%. Here you will see the highest reservation for the government seats, which is at 40%. Fees, once again, the same starts at 1 lakh rupees and goes up to almost 8 lakh rupees per annum. NRI seats, you see 15%, same as it has been in all the 3 types of private colleges, followed by which management quota in the previous 2 types of private medical colleges, we saw 10%, but here we see 5%. Fees again starts from 25,000 rupees and goes up to almost 1.3 crore rupees per annum. Once again, ranging from your non-clinical to your clinical branches. Now, a big thing that we look at, 40% seats are going to be for the private seats, where 20% is going to be for GMP, 20% is going to be for your open quota, meaning anyone from anywhere in the country can take these seats. But here's an interesting look at the fee structure. The fee starts from 25,000 rupees for your non-clinical branches and goes up to 70 lakh rupees per annum. Now, why is it going up to 70 lakh rupees per annum? Remember, I told you private universities have the autonomous status that is going to be granted to them, meaning they get a discretion on their own fee structure. What do I mean by discretion on their own fee structure? Even the private medical colleges have the same. Yes, the minority and the non-minority medical colleges get to decide their own NRI quota and the management quota fee structures, whereas the government seats and the private college private seats that are going to be there, that is essentially decided by the government of Karnataka. That is predominantly what you're looking at is the RGUHS, Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, which is the university of all the other private medical colleges of Karnataka. Whereas state universities come under their own university itself. For instance, MS Ramaiah does not come under RGUHS anymore. MS Ramaiah comes under MS Ramaiah University of Health Sciences, meaning only the government seats is decided by the government of Karnataka and the RGUHS, whereas the private management quota and the NRI quota is essentially going to be decided by the college itself, and that is why the fees goes up to 70 lakh rupees per annum. Now, this fees varies from branch to branch. For instance, emergency medicine's private seat in SDM Dharwad is just about 8 lakh rupees per annum, whereas if you want to take the same in KIMS, it is going to be at 14 lakh rupees per annum. Both the colleges, very, very good branches. Again, emergency medicine is the same, but you see the disparity in the fee structures. Or if you want to take a radio diagnosis seat for the private seat in KIMS, it is at 14 lakh rupees. If you want to take it in Vaidehi, it is at 14 lakh rupees. You want the same radio seat in a Saptagiri Medical College, it is at 70 lakh rupees per annum. This is the disparity of the fees that are going to be there. So this is going to be a very, very crucial step of understanding each branch's fee structure before you are applying for them. Now, where do you find all of this information? Should you apply for all of these colleges? Should you not apply for all of these colleges? All you have to do is log on to www.portal.hellomentor.in. Now, moving along to which are these state universities that you're going to be seeing. We've already seen it on the portal. Quickly to reiterate the same, you have your MS Ramaiah Medical College, which is a premium institute of Karnataka, which became a state university in 2023. You have Saptagiri Medical College, rather MS Ramaiah became a state university in 2022. Saptagiri Medical College, which became a state university in 2023. SDM, Sri Dharmasthala Manjunatheshwara Medical College, which is in Dharwad, again an excellent option. You have Adi Chunchanagiri in Belluru Cross, Mandya, about 100 kilometers away from Bengaluru. Followed by which you have your Khaja Bande Nawaz Medical College in the state or in the city of Gulbarga, or commonly called as Kalaburgi. Followed by which Srinivasa Medical College, which became a state university only from last year. So you have Srinivasa Medical College in Namma Mangaluru that is going to be there. Followed by which a new college established in the year 2021, Chandrama Dayanand Sagar Institute of Medical Education and Research, a part of the group of the Dayanand Sagar universities that is going to be there. Now, last year, they only started off with the non-clinical branches predominantly. Will they have clinical branches this year? We'll have to wait and see. However, the college has gained in reputation with time, and it is one of the most preferred colleges that you will be looking at in the UG setup. While these are your 7 state universities in the PG, you have colleges, 2 other colleges that are going to be there, rather 3 other colleges in the UG setup, which may join the PG leagues very soon. You have your PES University, which is a state university in the UG setup, which was only established in the year 2024. You have a BGS, not the BGS Global in Kengeri, but BGS Medical College and Hospital in Nagaruru in Nelamangala, which is again a state university of the Adi Chunchanagiri Trust. That is now a state university established last year, followed by which one of the free medical colleges of the country initially when it was established, your Sri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences in Chikkaballapura. This is also yet another state universities. These three state universities might join the league very, very soon when they start applying for the PG courses or the PG setup as well. So for now, in the PG setup, you're looking at these 7 state universities that are going to be there. What is the most crucial thing that you're going to look at? While some of these colleges have excellent quality to offer, also know how much you're going to be paying for the same and know if there is any other alternative that is going to be available for it. Okay. Now, talking about the next college that we were looking at, yes, if you had already guessed it right, that one minority college that I did not count in the 11 minorities in the 4 types of seat distribution that I was explaining was the premium St. John's Medical College here in Madiwala or Koramangala in Bengaluru, where this is the only private medical college of Karnataka that offers no government seats, NRI seats or the management quota seats. Only one type of seat that is going to be there is the private seats, meaning all the 131 seats in St. John's Medical College are private seats, and the fees for the clinical branches go up to almost, once again, 14 lakh rupees per annum. Majority of them are at around 12 lakh 88,000 change, but some of these branches go up to 14 lakh rupees per annum. Now, if you're willing to go to the St. John's Medical College, again 3 years of your PG, followed by which you will have 3 years of bond that you will have to do in St. John's Medical College, meaning if you're not willing to serve the 3 years of service, not only in St. John's Medical College, but any of the Jesuit institutes or the SJMC's institutes that are going to be there, you'll have to go work in one of those hospitals. Else, you have a massive penalty of 50 lakh rupees that you'll have to pay. Now, out of these 131 seats that are going to be there, majority of the seats are reserved for the Roman Catholic community that is going to be there, which is divided into 3 different categories. Once again, you have your reserved category 1 that is there for the Roman Catholic religious sisters and nuns who have completed a 2-year rural service at any of the St. John's approved medical centers. Okay, so this is for religious sisters and nuns who have done their 2 years of service at any of the St. John's approved centers that is going to be there. They come under reserved category 1, or also commonly called as RC1, followed by which RC2. This is where your internal quota comes into the picture, where if you are a St. John's alumni, you did your UG from St. John's, followed by which after 5.5 years of MBBS plus internship, you did your 2 years of service in one of the St. John's approved centers, then you will be eligible for the internal quota, or the RC2 category in the St. John setup. Followed by which then you have your reserved category 3, meaning all the Roman Catholic Christians all across the country. It doesn't matter if you've done the service or not, you've done your MBBS or not, if you're a Roman Catholic and you're willing to participate for St. John's Medical College, all you have to do, you can come register. But remember, St. John's has a separate counter for registration. Well, registration of KE is the same window, same portal you will register. But when you're appearing for the document verification, you get your documents verified with the KE's general setup for all the other reservations. And if you're a Roman Catholic willing to participate for St. John's, rather verification that is going to be happening. Followed by which you have your reserved category 4, which is general or the open quota seats, meaning you will see GMP and the open quota seats that are going to be there. Approximately about 39-40 seats are going to be open for all the candidates and the Karnataka domicile candidates. So this is how the 131 seats essentially gets divided in the St. John's Medical College. Why is it a special college? Only private medical college in Karnataka that does not offer any government NRI or management, but only one type of seat, which is going to be your private quota seats that you're going to be looking at. Okay. Now, quickly talking about one minority, we understood what is how the seats are reserved for the Roman Catholics community. Now, let us understand how the other minorities that line up, because we've discussed about the other 10 minority institutes. Let us understand you have the linguistic minority of Tamil, which is represented with the abbreviation of MA. You have your linguistic minority of Telugu, which is represented with ME. You have the Tulu minority, which is represented with MU, followed by which you have Muslim minority and Christian minority, which are these two are your religious minority colleges that are there. Now, what is the minimum requirement that you need to claim these minorities? Now, this is only eligible for candidates who've done their 1st to 12th in Karnataka, where they should have studied for a minimum period of 10 years within the state of Karnataka. Okay. Irrespective, it does not have to be in any particular order. You could have done your first and second year, third outside, fourth and fifth year, sixth outside, but rest of the studies in Karnataka. One way or another, you'll have to show 10 years of education within the state of Karnataka that you're going to be looking at in order to claim any form of minority. Meaning, if you're watching from, let us say, Maharashtra and you're a Tamilian, or if you're watching from Tamil Nadu and you speak Tamil, you cannot come and claim Tamil minority within the state of Karnataka. Why? Because it is only for residents who've lived and studied in the state of Karnataka for a minimum period of 10 years within the state. Okay, so this is ideally how it is. It does not matter if the candidate has done the MBBS outside. If you've done 10 years of education in Karnataka, you are eligible for these minorities. Now, followed by which, even for the religious minorities, Muslim minority and Christian minority, also there is a requirement that you should have studied for a minimum period of 10 years within the state of Karnataka and belong to that particular religion or community. But Karnataka has two types of minorities, MM1 and MM2, or MC1 and MC2. MM1 and MC1, that is Muslim minority 1 and Christian minority 1, is reserved only for domiciles of Karnataka who have 10 years of education within the state of Karnataka apart from your MBBS between 1st to 12th. Now, if let us say there are 100 seats for these minorities, but only 50 candidates are there that are participating, that means 50 seats will go vacant. Now, what do they do with these seats? These seats are now open for candidates outside the state of Karnataka, meaning if I'm a Muslim or a Christian who's never studied in Karnataka, did not do my MBBS from Karnataka, but I can still claim for minority, that is religious minority in the state of Karnataka, through MM2 and MC2 quota that is going to be there. So even if I'm not a domicile, I can still claim for the minorities, but first priority is only going to be for the domiciles who've done their 10 years of education in Karnataka apart from MBBS studies. So this is ideally how the different types of minorities that are going to be there, rather 5 different types of minorities. You have your Tamil minority, Telugu minority and Tulu minority, which are your linguistic minorities. You have Christian minority and Muslim minority, which are your 2 religious minorities. Few years ago, we had something called as the Kodava minority, whose ever mother tongue was Kodava or belonged to the Coorg region or the Coorg districts. That minority, one college used to offer, Saptagiri used to do it, but they have stopped offering since they've become a state university, or they had started applying for a state university ever since. They've stopped giving any form of Kodava minority seats that are going to be there. Which are the different colleges that are offering these minority seats? Now, ME represents your Telugu minority that is there. So you have Akash Institute, you have your Vaidehi in Bengaluru, Subbaya Medical College in Shimoga, and the Oxford Medical College in Bengaluru. These 4 colleges offer Telugu minority seats. Remember at the start when we were talking about a reservation, we saw the Hyderabad Karnataka horizontal reservation. Well, the Hyderabad Karnataka horizontal reservation is not only applicable for the government seats, it is also applicable for the private seats. Meaning the GMP seats that we saw earlier, general merit private quota seats, horizontal will get attached to that as well. 8% reservations again in the non-HK region colleges. GMPH comes into the picture. Similarly, you have something called as the MEH that comes into the picture, which is Navodaya Medical College in Namma Raichuru, where ME, that is your Telugu minority, plus Hyderabad, Karnataka gets attached to it. Meaning, if I'm a native of any of the 6 districts that I mentioned earlier, along with that, if I'm a Telugu speaking candidate, then I can claim for the MEH quota that is going to be there. Now, if there are not enough candidates, let us say there are 30 seats for MEH, but there are only 20 candidates who can claim MEH, the remaining 10 seats that are going to be there gets converted to ME seats. Meaning, even if you're a Telugu minority candidate who does not belong to the HK region, if there is no competition for under the MEH quota, these seats will get converted and you can claim the Telugu minority. Like I told you, Karnataka tends to become a little complicated as you go along as well. Followed by which you have your Tamil minority, you have your MBJ Medical College in Bengaluru. For now, only one medical college, Chamundeshwari Medical College for the NEET UG setup is offering Tamil minority. Probably in the next 2 to 3 years, they might be also starting to offer the PG seats as well. That time you will have 2 Telugu minority colleges, followed by which you have 1 Tulu minority college, again for the people who are watching from Mangalore, Udupi and the Dakshina Kannada districts. You have your AJ Institute in Mangaluru that is going to be there. Previously, we had 2 different Tulu minority colleges. You had AJ in Mangaluru and Srinivasa Medical College in Mangalore up until 2023. But 2024, they became a state university. And once you become a state university, you cannot offer the linguistic minority seat. So now Srinivasa is just a non-minority state university and it does not offer any Tulu minority seats. Only one Tulu minority college. You have your AJ in Mangaluru. While this discussed about how the linguistic minority lines up. Now we look at the religious minority. You have again two different Muslim minority colleges, Kanachur Institute of Medical Sciences in Mangaluru and Al-Amin Medical College in Namma Bijapura, that is going to be there. These two offer the minority Muslim seats or the Muslim minority seats that you're going to be seeing. And one more category that you will be seeing, very interesting category, is your MMH category, Muslim minority. I don't have to explain myself. Muslim minority, Hyderabad, Karnataka. Once again, for candidates who are Muslims, who are natives of the Hyderabad, Karnataka region, that is going to be there. Now, which is the college? Khaja Bande Nawaz in Kalaburgi or in the district of Gulbarga, that is going to be there, is going to be offering the Muslim minority HK seats. Or if there is not enough competition for the MMH quota, then these seats will get converted to Muslim minority quota. Remember, Khaja Bande Nawaz is a state university, so like the other private colleges that you're seeing here, they do not offer the 14 lakh rupees seat for the minority seats, but their fee structure is going to be on the higher end and goes up to 55-60 lakh rupees per annum, subject to the branches that you're going to be looking at. Then you have one Christian minority or the minority Christian college, a very, very popular college, Father Muller's Medical College in Mangaluru. Once again, an excellent option to consider. Again, it's a Christian minority college. So technically two Christian minority colleges. You have one is Father Muller that was offering all the 4 types of seats, and the premium St. John's Medical College, but predominantly only for Roman Catholic candidates that we will be seeing. So these are your different types of minority colleges that are going to be there. We haven't only gone through the non-minority colleges of Karnataka. We've understood the minority colleges, we've understood the state universities. Now, where do you see the non-minority colleges of Karnataka? We've already gotten a glimpse of the portal. You will be able to find that information as well. Now that we've understood how the minority colleges, what are those minority colleges, the state universities, we'll end this video for now, and then we will move it to the next part, where we are going to be discussing about the different fee structures that you're going to be encountering for different types of branches. What is the most important counseling process and how does the counseling process line up? We will get a complete understanding of the same, and how does the bond and the penalties line up. All you have to do is, if you like this video, we request you to like, share and subscribe, and hopefully you found this video informative. And subscribe and click on the bell icon so that you will get notified when the part 2 of the Karnataka Examination Authority's counseling of the NEET Simplified series comes up. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you again next time.